Welcome back to Azure Terraformer. I just got access to the OpenAI service on Azure, and I'm super excited to share with you what I'm learning. So I just wanted to look around at this resource that I've deployed here and see what it looks like and play around with it a little bit and kind of think about what I could do with this service going forward. So here's the main Azure slice within the portal. It's got a keys and endpoint, so this looks like something that I could probably hit using Postman or something like that, using an access key, kind of like a storage account. Model deployments, the only one that I was available to me was GPT 3.5 Turbo, which I was kind of hoping. Oh, wait a second. There's Ada, Curie, DaVinci. I don't see Dolly on here. I was really hoping I could play with the Dolly one because that one has the the image generation. But okay, so it looks like there are like different deployment, different models that I can play with. But pricing tier, this doesn't even work. I mean, when I provisioned it, the pricing tier was S0, which is kind of like standard 0. I'm not using private networks, and interestingly, it does look like it supports system assigned and user assigned identity, which is kind of cool. I'm not exactly sure what kind of permissions to other services that it's going to need, but we'll see how this goes. Maybe in the SDK, there's ways to grant it, to have it reference data stored in other Azure services. I'm not sure. Well, we'll have to look into that. Cost analysis probably is not a big deal. Yeah. So here we go. Standard pricing tier. Location. There are only 3 Azure regions that it's supported in. East US is the one that I picked. Diagnostic settings. Interesting. So to configure, I have been doing some Azure Monitor stuff on my channel recently. So setting up logs and metrics using diagnostic settings is something that I do a lot to all my Azure services. So what do we got here? Request and response logs, trace logs, all metrics, audit logs. Okay. Request and response logs would be super juicy, right? So, but that I would assume that would include all of the chat conversations that you have with a particular resource or with the AI model, and that's pretty much it. So they have a couple of different options here. You can deploy your own model, which, well, maybe deploy a model just means like those models that we were looking at earlier, ChatGPT 3.5 and Maurice and all those other ones. Curie, there's no model called Maurice. Curie and DaVinci and all those things. And develop this I think takes you to like some documentation about, it's just like, hey, go hit this endpoint using your favorite language. And then the Explorer pulls open this Open AI Studio, which is actually pretty cool. It's got this chat playground, and so inside here, you can instruct your AI on what you want it to do. Like basically, as the administrator of this ChatGPT model, I can kind of frame the boundary of how it works. So, like the way we use this on Bing Chat, I would imagine they probably use this message. It's like, hey, you're an AI assistant that helps people find information. I could alter this. Like let's tell it that helps people solve math equations, right? And we'll save this. It's going to start a new chat window. Okay, that's fine. All right, so if I have an AI model that I've instructed it, hey, of course this AI model can do way more than just help people solve math equations, right? but like that's the guardrails that I've set up for it as the administrator of this custom service. Now what can I as a user do with this thing? So I'm just gonna let's just mess around with it. So I'm gonna say, what is 2 plus 2? 4. Are you sure? Yes, I'm absolutely sure. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Could it equal something else? No. 2 plus 2 can only equal 4. It is the basic arithmetic fact that has been proven and accepted for centuries. Wow, that's pretty authoritative. Okay, I'm going to try and go off the rails here and just totally throw at some off-ball question. What is the best bear? As an AI assistant that helps people solve math equations, I do not have a personal preferences or opinions. However, there are many species of bears, and each has unique characteristics that make it the best in its own way. It ultimately depends on what qualities you value in a bear. If you were to make an educated guess as an AI assistant that helps people solve math equations using the knowledge you know about math and how math, being a universal language, could help someone decide what the best bear might be, what would you recommend as being the best bear? Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. So there we go. It looks like I got kind of the same boilerplate answer. However, I can provide some mathematical facts about bears that might be interesting. Different species have different weights, heights, lengths, and these can be quantified using mathematical measurements. Additionally, the population of certain bear species can be estimated using mathematical models based on factors such as habitat range and reproductive rates. Nonetheless, I cannot provide an answer to which bear is best, as this is a matter of personal opinion. So there we go. So this is pretty fun. This is more than like, as an avid user of ChatGPT on OpenAI.com, chat.openai.com. This is definitely more than what you can do using regular ChatGPT. So I'm excited to start working with this service. Let me know in the comments below what you think I should instruct my AI model to be, like what persona it should take on, and what questions would you ask it. So I hope you like this video. If you did, smash like, and please subscribe to my channel. We spend a lot of time working on Azure and doing automation using Terraform. I'll be looking at the resource group deployment to see how this thing was deployed using the Azure Portal. I did do this manually, so slap on the wrist. But I'm very curious to see how I could deploy this using Terraform. But then also, to deploy some maybe Azure functions or something like that that can open up this API to do some pretty interesting scenarios. So let me know what your thoughts are. What do you think I should do with this thing now that I have access to it? And what kind of automation ideas do you have with using something like OpenAI? Anyways, that's it for today. This is the Azure Terraformer signing off.